The development of the Chinese Navy in recent years is like a spring tide. The service speed of warships is simply dumplings in general. In this magnificent process, 052D and 055, the two destroyers have assumed different roles, like two stars in the sky, twinkling with their own glory. The first batch of 055 delivered 8 ships, only after a few years to build the start of the second batch of 8 ships. A total of construction is completed only 16, because the birth of too late, the progress of the backwardness, weighing the pros and cons. China chose to build a large number of 052D excessive. This is what is the reason for it. 055 is the core of China's research and development of warship models, has a strong anti-aircraft combat firepower, can be outside the enemy's defense zone to implement attacks and raids, with all-electric propulsion silent sailing ability, a total of 112 pitot tube, can be hot and cold racks to launch a variety of types of missiles, from short-range to long-range coverage of the enemy's target area to achieve saturation strike destruction. Why China does not build a large number of 055 destroyers, instead of building a large number of 052D, which is obviously led a lot of people, cannot figure out. In fact, it is very good to understand. 052D type destroyers expected to 2028 in service total of not less than 40 or so, obviously more than 05516, a large number. The comprehensive index of war power is also very considerable. In the coastal defense of the lighter ship reaction ability and maneuver deployment speed are more rapid, of course, but also to consider the ability of the ship to carry weapons, sustained output of firepower time, as well as to ensure that the destruction of the intensity of the basis after these have, and then look at the corresponding total weight and volume. 052D is an ideal type of defense ship. At the same time, it is a multi-ship integrated synergy. The firepower power is also very significant for other types of ships. 055 is a ferocious charge boat tear open the enemy's defensive formation, equivalent to the J-20 destruction of the air defense network as the same effect. The 052D is comparable to the J-16 flanking, become the main attack on the sea combat for the 052D, a certain total amount of ship collection and dispersion, according to the combat for 052D, a certain total number of ships collection and dispersal, according to the different needs of the combat to form a different striking effect. Encircle and encircle the enemy ships can be more efficient. Therefore, it is also very necessary to continue to expand the production of 052D, and at the same time, it can also add new combat power for China's 3 fleets to supplement the new lineup options. At the same time, according to the performance of modern technology upgrades, the intelligent characteristics of the ships at sea is more and more obvious. After the installation of advanced shipboard radar and early warning system, 052D in the sea duty and patrol can more quickly find the enemy's target, even before the enemy to see each other after the formation of more decisive countermeasures, so as to fight for the battlefield active control. For the impact of the war situation has an important promotion. 50 TOD equipped with C Red Flag 9 anti-aircraft missiles, YJ-62 anti-ship missiles, Red Flag 10 missiles, etc. The war power is not to be underestimated. Its full load displacement is 7,500 tons, 5,000 tons lighter than the 12,500 tons of 055 big drive. In the Navy's ships, offshore defense is easier with lighter ships. China's military development is very pragmatic. Control of military costs is also a very important consideration. 055 destroyer compared to 052D destroyer is the elite important ship, and J-20, as the vanguard in charge, does not require a lot of intensive deployment, coordinated with other different ships to play the main war power. 052D compared to 055 cost to be significantly more economical. There is no clear official price. The presumption that the cost of a 3 billion yuan, while the cost of the 055 destroyer cost as much as 6 billion yuan, a visible cost difference is obvious. And then for the Chinese Navy deployment, the demand for offshore defense is more obvious. 052D is obviously already capable of the Chinese Navy air defense needs of a large number of people. Do not need to use the 055 destroyer, can complete the task. In such a premise increment, 052D is obviously more sensible. 052 series destroyer is a classic ship model, development derived from a series of ship type. 052D is also a more advanced upgrade version. In the air defense operations, defense deployment, anti-ship strikes, anti-submarine raids and other tasks. 052D can adapt to different attack requirements to achieve a more flexible scheduling and efficient response to the combat response. Military fans waiting for 055 upgrade news waiting for several years, but also this judgment is not in a hurry to launch the 055 new batch of reasons is because to wait to perfect the upgrade program. In fact, the Chinese Navy for the design and upgrade of the ship has a very cautious attitude. Do not venture into building huge ships, because for China's naval defense, coastal defense is still the most important task for some time to come, and the need to upgrade the 055 large drive is not urgent, mainly because China has 50,000 tons of amphibious assault ships, as well as other different types of combat ships, can form a complementary and complementary, these forces for the 055 large drive. Do not hasten to increase the water displacement, can also be achieved by expanding the destruction of the intensity of the ship, for example, multiple ships, the collection of firepower, such as the firepower of different ships' saturation strike, and the Chinese Navy and Air Force have a characteristic, after a long time in service and test models, ships, feet on the ground for technical upgrades, improve the launch of more upgraded version, which is more practical than the new equipment, designed out of thin air performance. Some defect and deficiencies in service during the specific parameters, how to improve the use of the demand for as a basis. So the 052D is also from the basic type upgrade, therefore, the 052D is also upgraded from the basic type, and after optimization, the combat performance and internal structure will be improved, and the technology is also more and more exquisite.